inquiring.
I don't understand because I feel like you're contradicting yourself because
in what way?
You're saying there's nothing wrong in somebody inquiring, but really that's what you're saying because
how you go
unless we get but then
how you go about it matters.
But then are we expecting every white person or whoever is curious about you to get it right 100% of the time?
Yes.
Then we need to give them a script because that's what Chin was asking you to say. Okay, then how should they be asking?
Let me help you. How you go about it matters. How do they go about it? Tell all the white people how they go about it.
I'll give you an example. If I'm gonna put a script, I'm happy to put a script.
Yeah. Tell them how.
Yeah, let's role play.
Yeah,
right?
Go on.
Chin, where are you from?
I'm from Birmingham.
You're from Birmingham. Oh, okay, fine. Crap.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Let's start again.
You're a black person. You come together.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to season 3 of OffbeatPOV.
We are back like we never left.
I mean,
We definitely left.
like we left. a lot longer than we're meant to be gone for anyway.
No, not really. It's what? It's
life.
second week of January.
Second
week of January, yeah. And really we should have been back for like the New Year date, but you know.
Life.
It happens and we're here now. But yes, Ati, welcome back at Offbeat.
Oh yeah, because she's been here.
But this is the first time in the studio, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the first time in the studio.
First time
I've done your first
How do you
audio
like it?
back in the day.
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's very nice. Very nice. Wasn't that one of the first people?
Probably, yeah. When we had like 2 mics, or was it just one mic?
I think it was,
and we had to share.
Yeah, I think we had to share. It was on the table.
Yeah. I think it was just one mic. Now you get your own mic. Yeah, your own mic on the chair.
You're not inhaling someone's oxygen.
Well, there's a good, what do you call it? Social distancing. That's the one. Social distancing is nice. Yeah, I like your studio. It's very beautiful.
Welcome back to Offbeat POV. You remember the one rule that we have here?
Which is?
I'm asking, do you remember?
Well, be careful what you say because we're going to be nationally syndicated.
It's the opposite, to be fair.
Trust me.
What kind of Offbeat? One rule of Offbeat?
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Why did you have to say it like that?
Both of us as well.
At the same time. Okay. All right. Okay. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
I was actually just saying it. She was mocking. Yeah. I was pacing myself to her pace, which was mocking you.
Okay, but how have we been since our last recording? Since the last time we saw you, Ati, how have you been?
I've been well. Life is good. Yeah, I got myself a boo.
Hey,
she's out of the ghetto.
Okay. Off the streets and that.
Well, so now that you're in a relationship, you're qualified to give advice. So advise your single friends. With one advice that you have for them.
Single friends?
Yeah.
We'll have to do another segment because it's not PG.
The one advice for your single friends. I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's not.
Listen,
for daytime television.
Yeah,
it's not for daytime television.
It's okay. We'll air it at night.
Okay, I'll say this. Pray.
Hey.
No, say what you wanted to say. That's like the opposite
from
not PG.
That's definitely not what you want to say.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Unless pray means different these days.
Trust me.
No. Honestly,
I can guess what the peak.
Okay, I'll give you the real advice. Trust God and pray. That's real advice.
And then
don't lower
is that how you got your boo?
That is how I got my boo. Don't lower your
standards.
No
expectations.
Yeah. No standards.
Don't lower your expectations.
Yeah.
That's not like a bad advice to me.
You asked her.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
her advice. You didn't say whether you were going to comment on her advice.
Okay. Fair enough. Go on. What are you saying?
Okay, what I mean is like if you have a certain way or the type of person that you want or what are the expectations and the expectations?
Expectations, yeah.
So you want this type of person, they need to be doing this, they need to do that, whatever. If it's common sense and if it makes sense to you and that's what's going to make you happy, stick to that.
No matter how long it takes.
No matter how long it takes.
Be prepared to
stick
die
to
alone,
that.
but stick to it.
I mean, yeah. I was fine with being by myself.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
You just happen to be happier now.
Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah. But I wasn't like, oh, I want the guy who has a car, I want the guy who has this, who has that, who has this. No, I was just like, you know what? This is what I want. I just want somebody who is
So
nice.
So you're trying to say don't lower your moral expectation? Because for some people, when you say don't lower your
Trust me,
expectations,
that could go a whole
that
lot.
could go a
Yeah.
bit like, oh, I want somebody who drives a Mercedes. We're not talking about those kinds of expectations.
Don't lower your moral expectations, but also don't. What am I trying to say? Don't go for somebody who's gonna make you change the person that you are. If you meet somebody who can meet you where you are and they like you for who you are, that was like my biggest thing, my biggest issue with the past people that I was dating or that I came into contact with. I had to be a certain way in order for me to feel like they're happy, like we're compatible. Yeah. In my situation now, I don't have to do that.
But do you think there's ever a relationship you go into and don't have to change anything about yourself at all?
No. There will be some things that you probably would change. Yeah, some niggly bits that you have to change, but not the person. I'll give you an example of this guy that I dated, where I felt like I had to speak a certain way. I couldn't use, sometimes every now and again I use curse words, but I couldn't use curse words. I had to speak a certain way. I had to dress a certain way just to be with this person. He's like, I was about to mention our denomination then. He's like
He's a
proper. He's a church goer.
What's wrong with
He's
denomination?
a church
I don't know,
goer
because I don't want people
From the
coming for me.
Seventh-day
Adventist Church. Call it for what it is.
I don't want people coming for me. Like he was like a stoosh SDA, Like so when we went to dinner, like I have to speak. So I just, he didn't say anything, but I could feel it. Like when we were having a conversation and he's speaking to me, I could feel like if I say this, it might go this way.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't know about that, because I can't be myself then. Because I am loud, I'm out there, I say outlandish things, I have quite a big mouth. My personality is not, for the faint-hearted. But with him, I felt
That sounds to me like a you problem, though. No problem per se, but it's like
I feel like I can't be myself. I have to be a certain way in order for me to be accepted by him.
But you knew the kind of person he was and the kind of girl that he would go for.
I didn't know to what extent, though. I didn't know to what extent. I knew like he was
a relationship. What? At least I am assuming you ended it.
Well, yeah, it wasn't really a relationship. It was like a few dates.
Okay.
But
fine.
Did you ever
this
try?
was still in the getting to know?
it was in the getting to know each other stages.
Did you ever try to be yourself and see where it's gonna go? Did you ever try to give him a taste of, oh, this is who I am?
I tried once. There was this eerie quietness that immediately I was like, oh, okay.
And now?
Yeah. Yeah. So from then on, and it was actually recommended by a good friend. He's like, oh, I think you and him would be so good. I think you should go on date. I think it's a perfect match.
Friends, no?
Yeah, it was a family member, but yeah.
Worse.
So, and I went there just like no.
But
now with my current guy, I can just be whatever, do what I want to do, be myself, dress how I want to dress, speak how I want to speak. And it's like I thought, you know what, I'm not going to change myself anymore because this is my personality. But the person who's going to love me, who's going to be with me, they're going to have to just get all of this.
So the first couple of episodes on a new season, I want us to talk about relationships. And I think you should come back because I have so many questions. And I take a lot of issues with what you've said that I would like to delve into in a safe space. In a safe space.
So come prepared.
Tissues.
in a safe space. But we're just asking what you've been up to. So now is not the time. But we see you've got yourself a boo. Yeah. You're happy. I mean,
I'm happy.
When we say
I got myself a new job.
New job as well.
Yeah, I got myself a new job. I got myself a new relationship. So
2023 will be booming for her.
2023
Ati will be a whole different
2023 is my year. Look out for it. Look out for it.
We'll have to hear. What about you guys? Fatsani, Pronek?
I lost myself a boo.
I say, that decibel was a bit much.
That's why I'm saying opposite. Ati, I'm the polar opposite.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 2023 be looking bright still though.
Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry.
How you doing? You okay
this
though?
was a little more than a boo though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were married. Yeah.
You just forgot that little tidbit.
FYI.
You know, just that little tidbit.
Yeah. But you know,
Are you back in the game?
I was for like 5 minutes, and someone swooped me off. I was like, how you people staying single for years on end?
So is that implying you're not single anymore?
I forgot this is going on. I plead the fifth for this moment we're in America. Business is looking interesting.
Well, moved on real quick.
Listen,
Just swiftly moved on.
It's not yet time. But yeah, business is looking interesting. I think I'm officially broke. Business is like officially failing. So I've taken this opportunity to do something risky. So I'm literally diving into something that's either gonna make me or make me end up in prison.
Okay.
So I'm excited. I feel like I was built for it. Like, because you know, sometimes you hear, anyway, it's just a quick intro, right? So we're not going into details, but sometimes you hear like, anyway, I've been here because I told you guys that last season I kept saying that I'm reading a lot and whatnot. And, you know, sometimes you hear like advice, you know, if you want to start a business, it's always best, you know, when you don't have anyone and things like that, because you've got to worry about the home, you know, you've got to worry about the bread.
Okay, yeah.
And some people, you know, it's not to say that, there've been people that have done business within family, but obviously as a unit, you kind of talk together and be like, listen, we could be broke on the streets. Are we in this? Yes. I felt restricted. I couldn't make certain choices because I was having to think ahead, plan ahead. So obviously with the losing the boo thing, I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be 30 soon. It's now or never kind of thing. So I feel on that aspect, I feel the restraint has left. So now I'm just like, so obviously I'll give you details in time, or you come visit me at the prison. Like, when the taxman comes for me, not that I don't pay my taxes, like,
when was the last time you paid your taxes?
shut your mouth. We are on air.
Yeah, brother, this is another time.
Airing my business like that. But yeah, so honestly, 2023 looks absolutely great. And yeah, our listeners get to come on this journey along with me. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
Definitely. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Next weekend. So we are recording from the prison.
No, so it's just me and Fatsani this week.
One more thing I want to tell the viewers as well. I am going to Britain's Got Talent. If I can complete the application, it's still halfway.
You still haven't.
I'm sure the last time you mentioned that was the disclaimer as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going if I can complete, and that was like almost 2 weeks ago now.
I'll do it.
You know they have deadlines.
I know the deadlines.
What's the deadline?
1st of January.
31st.
Yeah. So as long as I can do it by then, I'm okay. So yeah, who knows, guys? I could put us on the map. Anyway, Fatsan, what have you been up to?
Yes.
I don't think I've been up to much. Yeah.
Is that it?
Nothing. I don't think I've got anything as exciting as
The first
Pro
two people.
Nick and Atty.
New booze, old booze.
Same boo.
Different day.
Same boo, different day.
Same boo, different year.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, let's do this 2023 thing. I've got my motto for 2023 is make money, spend money.
Okay.
I don't know what money I'll be spending, but yeah.
The one that you're going to make. Yeah.
At least you guys make your money to spend it. I spend it before I make it.
But yeah, just going to take 2023 as it comes, settle into the new job, and yeah, make memories.
Memories.
Oh, so I mean, it seems like it's going to be an exciting 2023 then. Obviously, we're back.
What about you?
Podcast is big.
What have you been up to? Don't skip yourself.
It's me. What have I been up to? You know, doing bits. You know,
We
it's
sound
been
like the
good.
most boring two people in
Well,
this room.
I'll have you know. I'll have
you.
you know. Let's see. I got certified as a life coach.
That you did.
Life coach now. So
So if your life is falling apart,
you know, you guys are talking to a certified life coach now.
Reach out to.
what's the name?
It's
Chin, the life coach.
It's Chin.
Is that what it is? The life coach? Chin, the life coach?
No, it's Chin. It's my name.
Chin.
Chin. What do you
life
mean?
coach.
Oh, I'm talking about your life coach name. I said,
Chin.
Chin. Okay.
His name.
Okay.
Why didn't your life coach name? It's Chin.
Okay.
Chin Demani. But you probably already have me on socials anyway. I hope. This thing is going more. But yeah, got certified as a life coach. Let's see. We'll be studying a master's shortly as well.
Yeah.
what?
are you doing your masters in?
HR and training.
Nice.
You know, obviously that's gonna come in useful in the life coaching thing as well. Yeah, let's see. Got a couple of things going as well. Anyone who's following me will find out in the next couple of weeks the big things that I have going. So
Oh,
you know,
nice.
if you're not already, follow me on the socials or just follow OffbeatPOV as well. I'm sure they'll bleed over.
At this point, I might have to follow you.
But
You know already.
you don't follow me.
What do I don't really have social media to follow anybody.
That's about time you get it, man. POV is
Nah,
blowing
it's
up.
okay. No. She has addictive tendencies when it comes
I
to
really
social
do
media.
not. I just don't like when I see people posting their fake lives and they can't expose them.
So you do what instead?
Just come off social media if I don't see.
Show
it,
just
doesn't bother
Facebook
me.
videos. The ones that are like 20 minutes long.
Oof.
And they always keep you hooked like, guess
Yeah,
what
the
happens
most
next?
annoying
No, those are
And
the
they're
ones
like,
I
how
watch.
do minutes
how do you
long.
see through
That's
that?
not what I watch. I watch pimple popping videos
And that as
and
well.
things coming out of like people's skin. Those are the best ones.
Well,
Yeah. But anyway, anywho, ladies and gent, I just thought we'd catch up this episode, especially seeing what happened in December. December was a wild month
Yeah.
in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Wild month. Halfway through December, this is literally like, I think like the 12th or the 13th of December. I was like, oh, we should not have taken December off. And it just kept getting worse.
yeah.
Like there was a lot that happened in December. But you know, we had things we needed to look after, take care of and whatnot, and we're back. So just to recap then, and just to pick people's thoughts, what did we think of the Fugazi situation? What's the name? Fugazi?
Fulani.
Fulani. Is it Fulani?
I thought it was
How
pathetic.
are we going to get the name wrong? Firstly, do you know what I'm talking about when I say Fulani situation?
Is this the one who went to the
Palace.
Royals?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Went to the Royals and did what?
So she went to, I think the palace was having some kind of event.
Oh,
And she
I
owns
heard about it, yeah.
she owns a charity, so she was there and
She got asked a few times
where
you
she's from. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, fine.
And apparently that was
She felt offended.
racism.
Mm.
I thought the whole thing was pathetic. Personally, should I say why?
Go ahead.
Because I don't know why, as Black people, we're so against people asking us where we're from. The fact that our skin color is different already symbolizes there's something in us that is different. Fair enough, you might have been born here, but somewhere down the line you are from somewhere. So why not just answer the question? For if somebody asks me where you from, there's two ways I can approach that. I can say, "Oh, I'm from Wolverhampton," and if that's not what they mean, then they have the right to say, "Oh no, I meant like where you like from." So, and sometimes people don't know how to phrase it correctly because again, we're always on this heightened situation.
Fix that.
Ask me where, if somebody asks me, oh, where are you from, I'll say, oh, I'm from Malawi, and that's where I am from. And if I wasn't from Malawi, I would say, oh, I was born here, but my parents are from Malawi. I don't see what's so wrong in that. And correct me if I'm wrong, from the information that I read regarding the whole situation, she was dressed in an attire, like a cultural attire.
Yeah.
Already that symbolizes something, that you're representing something different. So somebody asking you in that situation where you're from, I don't see
the issue.
there. And I don't know why, as Black people, we're not comfortable in telling people where we are from. Well, I don't know why we want people to assume that we're British when our skin color says different.
I was gonna say that also sometimes when they ask the question, you can tell like what they're trying to say, what they're trying to ask the question. Like you were saying, they say, "Where are you from?" Where are you really from? You know really what they're trying to say. You know what they're asking, but you're acting like, oh, what do you mean? Where I'm from?
Do you understand why some people can say they take offense to do that? To say, just because I'm Black, you're assuming that I am from somewhere else. Do you understand why someone can take that as an offensive thing?
But aren't assumptions usually based in some element of truth anyway? Because let's face it, people that are truly British to the bone are not Black.
But
if we go back in time,
yeah, well, but then I guess that goes into the conversation of what is it to be British? Is it to be white?
no, it's not. But there is an element of that's an element of it.
To being white. Being white is an element of being British.
If we're putting it in the context of where you're from, because I'm situating it in the context of where you're from. So in the context of where you're from, originally, people from this country were not black. It's us people that have migrated into this country that have made it mixed and diverse. But at the core, at the root, the same way if you go to Africa, at the core, at the root, people in Africa are black. White people have come into Africa. Black people have come into the United Kingdom. So for me, somebody assuming that because I'm black, I might not be, and they're not saying you're not. There is that thing that's for them represents that this person could not be fully from here. Does that make sense?
Okay. Can I jump in?
Yeah.
I think for me, the whole thing, it was racist. It was rude. It was disrespectful. It shouldn't have happened, right? The problem with what you're saying, Fatsan, is that that's the exact same thing that we're trying to fight. We're trying to stop. Remember, in one of our
What are we trying to fight on?
that assumption that because you're not white, you're not British, or you're not from the UK, or you must be from somewhere else, right? Going to the question that you've asked, what exactly does it mean to mean British? The definition that Fasan has given, that's going back years, and that's why the topic of race is a hot topic right now, because that's what we're trying to get rid of, right? One of our podcast recordings of last season, remember, we quoted Morgan Freeman. How do you stop racism? Stop talking about it. Why do you have to be a black woman? Why do I have to be a black man? Why can't I just be man, woman? That question has already labeled black woman. So when you're asking someone, where are you from, with that intention, I agree with what Ati was saying. There is usually an intention to it, and that's the problem,
But why do we always assume that when somebody is asking where you're from, they mean it with malice?
Okay, if we meet somewhere and ask you, oh, where are you from? And you tell me Wolverhampton, you've answered my question. But then if I say, no, where are you actually from? Now that's a different conversation. And that's the malice point.
Let me give you an example. Hold on,
Why is that the malice point?
Can I give an example before he answers that question? Remember when we went to one of your comedy gigs? That guy asked us where we were from. And the reason would you say that guy was asking from malice? Do you remember the reason why he was asking us where we're from?
I think because he had been in the part of our country and stuff like that.
Because he heard your accent and to him it sounded familiar. So he was saying, let me ask them where they're from in case they are from Malawi, because then I have been to Malawi. Okay. And we said, we're from Malawi. He was like, yes, I knew it. So would you say his question was from malice?
Okay. No, I would say his question wasn't from malice, but
then at that point,
did his question assume that we're not British? Yes, it did. Now you can look into why did he assume that we're not British? You've already said he heard my accent. So because I don't have a British accent or a Northern accent, whatever, he then assumed that, oh, these people are not British. So he then asked that question, where are you from? Yeah. And because we understood what he was asking, we answered. That was fine. That was okay. In my opinion, that was fine.
But then, okay,
right?
So at what point do we decide whether somebody is asking from a place of malice or a place of,
okay, let's not discuss it so broadly like that. Let's go back to the conversation, to the art, because we know what happened. Yeah. It was 3-4 times. And if it's correct, the comment that then came when it went on, so now we are getting somewhere. You see what I mean? That was not right. Okay, if you want to ask somebody, okay, in my opinion, I can't look at you as if you're not black. I disagree with what Morgan Freeman said, right? To an extent.
But you used him to make a point.
No, that's what I'm trying to say, that the point I was trying to make at that particular time was that that's exactly what is wrong with this situation. Because remember, for me, I am for it being racist and rude, right? So that's why I used Morgan Freeman to make the point to say that that's exactly what that woman was doing, is viewing someone with color, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there's no way I can ever look at you and not see that color. Does that make sense? I can't look at this guy and see green. He is a black man. If the neighbor comes in and she's white, she is a white man. I'm gonna see the blonde hair, the blue eyes. I can't erase that. But then it's about how we process that information. That's the point. That's where race comes in, discrimination, and so on. It's how do you process that? Am I seeing?
So hang on. So just clarify. So why was this situation rude and racist?
Okay.
Explain that point.
Okay, fine. So if I recall the experience properly, the person asked, "Where are you from?" Yeah. The receiver understood that as "Where have you come from?" Right, and then she responded. Okay, so I don't know where she said she responded from, and then the person don't know where are you from. Yeah. So now in that particular moment, it was clear that she was not talking about where have you come from? Yeah. Correct me. Did she say I'm British or something like that? How did
yeah.
You see? And then that was also still not enough for her. Why was it not enough for her? Because she was now seeing color. Yeah. So she had come to a conclusion, because you are a black woman, you are not British.
No.
You see?
No, I disagree with that. Fundamentally.
So before you come in, the question I would pose to you would be, so why was she not enough with I'm British?
Because of how she was dressed.
So British people cannot dress in any other attire?
In a traditional African attire with necklaces of like what I don't know if it was claws or Angoni, like
I have
tribal
told you,
thingy.
Despite how I've dressed, I've told you that I am a British person. But if she wanted to explore further, right? In my opinion, it's about how she went about it. Yeah, she could have. There's so many ways she could have asked that question to talk about
like
her ancestors, her lineage. You know, instead of instead of like keeping on repeating the same question and things like that. And the way that conversation is read anyway, it wasn't. You know, people are curious. Like the example Fatani has given. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, if she was intrigued by the outfit and she wanted to know about it, that would have been a warm conversation. Yeah, I'm British. Oh wow, okay, fine. Your attire is interesting. Where is that from? Oh, it's from Angola. Oh, okay. Do you have ancestors in there?
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. I disagree completely.
Go on.
I don't think the lady did anything wrong, because it's okay. In hindsight, it's one of those things where in hindsight you can approach any situation differently. You can be like, okay, I shouldn't have approached the situation that way. Does that mean how you approached it was racist and rude? Not necessarily. It sometimes it can mean that,
and in this situation, I think it does.
In this situation, it does not, because firstly, we cannot run away from the fact that how we dress communicates to the world something. And already that creates assumptions in people or stories in people, whatever, and you're responsible for that. So if I dress in a Muslim attire, head to toe, what am I communicating to the people?
I'm a Muslim.
I'm Muslim. If someone comes to me and says Allah Akbar, I'm like, oh, sorry, I don't speak Arabic. They'll be confused. Because of how I'm dressed. No, because of how I'm dressed. And it is not their responsibility. That's my responsibility, because I have communicated something to them. So they're fair enough. I can explain. Oh, you know what? I just really like this attire. I'm not Muslim, blah blah blah. I just think it's dope. That's fine. But are they wrong in coming to me and saying Allah Akbar? No. Sorry, I don't even know if I'm sorry. Do you even know what you're saying at this point? Yeah. It's like praise God or something. Yeah. They're not wrong. They're not wrong in making that first approach, taking what I've given to them and saying what they're saying, which is what this lady did. This lady is dressed a certain way, so she's coming to them and she's inquiring, where are you from? I don't know if she says Burwell. Let's say she said London or whatever. Yeah. She's like, oh no. I mean, where are you from? Because she's interested in how she looks, the image that she's portraying.
I mean, yes. Okay, fine.
So
Can I jump in?
Let me ask. So let's go back to the example I gave about when we went to to one of your comedy nights. So obviously that situation was simple and straightforward. There was no wahala, but let's turn it into this situation. So that guy approaches us and says, oh, where are you guys from? We say, we're British. And then he says, oh, where are you from? Would have that been an issue in that scenario that day? Would that now have turned the situation racist? Because no. I think with that situation, the difference is we just went with, oh, we're Malawian. That was our first stance. But technically, myself and Chin are not Malawian. By passport denomination, we're British. So if we'd answered, oh, we're British, and then he carried on to say, oh no, like, where you from? Would that now have turned into a racist situation?
That day, we're dressed normally. We didn't even dress. We're dressed like normal people.
We're just normal. Not necessarily, because like I said, there are certain things that you cannot ignore. Yeah, and that's why I keep saying about the way you look. So accent is one of them as well. Yeah,
But skin color is not.
That's one of them. Skin color is one of them. Accent is one of them, and how you dress is one of them. So I'm okay with what you've said.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But then I'm saying that at the point that you answered that we are British, how I then further inquire from what I'm seeing, whether it's your skin color or whatever, how I further inquire is what then matters.
Okay. So what's the right way to further inquire?
I don't know if it can be a right way, but
No, because right now we're differentiating between what's racist and what's not.
Yeah.
So if you say there's a right way to do it, we need to find out what the right way to inquire
otherwise it's
past
unfair
that
to
point
those
is.
that
Yeah,
are
because
asking that
otherwise,
question.
it's
Hold on, if
never
she
asked.
didn't dress the way she dressed, and that question was still asked, would this have made the news?
No. Oh no! Wait, what?
If she didn't dress the way she dressed, and that question was still asked, like, where are you from? And she's dressed in normal black ball gown.
I think it would have made the news even more, and I think that's what divided people's opinions.
I think
there's my problem now.
I think maybe more people would have been on her side if she was dressed the normal Western way.
Okay, if she's dressed the normal Western way and she's asked where you from,
and she says I'm British,
yeah,
and then the lady went on to say no, where are you from? She didn't even say where are you really from, because I understand maybe saying where are you really from is a bit, but she didn't say where are you really from. She said, oh no, I mean where are you from?
Yeah.
So
why would that be okay then? Like not okay, but this is giving in my mind like a couple of scenarios. Let's say, because we get asked a lot, where are you from? But with the British people, like they just see white is white, but it could be white from, I don't know, Scandinavian countries or something like that. And you could come from, let's say, Poland and have a British accent, but you're not going to get where are you from? Where are you really from?
If you have a British accent, but if you have a foreign accent, you will get the question.
But why is it that when you have this skin color and you're getting asked, where are you from? Where are you really from? Even with a British accent. And you're dressed in normal Western clothes, nothing to do with Ankara or anything. Is it because we're not originally here from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see?
And is there something wrong in that? Because at the end of the day, we are not originally from here. If everybody with our skin color looks at their ancestry and goes back and goes back and goes back, eventually you'll find your people are not from here. So for me, I don't know why. It annoys me because it's almost like we also want to deny our blackness. We want people to view us as a different entity when we're not. To me, when somebody, maybe I'm an anomaly, but when somebody asks me, where are you from? I'm proud to say where I'm from. I might start with, depending on the environment, I might be like, oh yeah, I'm from Wolverhampton. When they're like, oh no, I mean, where are you from? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm Malawi. And I'm Malawi. And I go through the whole story. Oh, I came when I was 8 years old, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. For me, it doesn't tickle my heart. It doesn't hurt me in any shape because I know what they can see. I'm not gonna not acknowledge what they can see.
Yeah, and most of the times they say like, "Oh, Malawi, don't know where Malawi is. Where's Malawi?" Like,
and I just have to say,
adopted those kids. That's my go-to all the time. The place where Madonna adopted those kids.
I'm always like, if I was a few years younger, maybe she could have adopted me.
And an orphan.
You know what?
So I don't know why if it wouldn't have been. Are we saying that it would have been racist if she was dressed in normal Western attire to be asked that question versus dressed in Ankara clothing?
I don't think it would have been. For me personally, I don't think either of those scenarios for me would have been racist. But like I said, I think I'm an anomaly because I've accepted that I already represent something different and people are going to be curious, and I approach it from a perspective of until I have proof that that person is intentionally being racist, my assumption is always they are just curious because a lot of the times people, and like Chin likes to say, you've probably met more non-racist people than you have met racist people. Or at least outwardly racist people. Right. So my assumption is always, okay, they're asking from a place of curiosity. At the point where they give me a good enough reason for me to say, actually, this person is now being, for example, let's say I tell them, oh yeah, I'm from Malawi. And then, oh, go back to your effing country. Then at that point, I'm like, okay, you were asking that question to be racist. Right. But then if I say, oh, I'm from Malawi, and they're like, oh, where is Malawi? I've never heard of it. And they start explaining. Now I genuinely know that's a point of curiosity. But like I always say, I feel like as Black people, sometimes we're already always on the defense. Any question that's asked, we've already made the assumption this person is being racist. But I can't deny my skin color. I am a Black woman.
Okay, I want to ask something, right?
Mhm.
So, what about the comment that she later made on said, again, if I remember correctly, the information that was given at the time, after she asked a few times, and then the lady must have mentioned her roots, whatever, she said, "Oh, finally, we're getting somewhere."
Yeah. Because the black lady, Fulani, my apologies, I forgot her name. Because honestly, I think she was being difficult. I think she knew exactly what the lady was asking, but she didn't want to give her the answer. So she was being intentionally difficult. Because to say Hackney, British, or I was born here, but she knew exactly what she was asking. She was being intentionally difficult. And evidently, the lady was... She received that difficultness. So in doing that, she was like, "Oh, finally, we're getting to." It's like saying, "Oh, finally, you answered my question."
Okay. In your opinions, do you think that lady who was asking was polite?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
No,
Then that's where we differ. Okay, that's fine.
No, let me say one thing. I think it's only an issue because it made the news and the conversation is being dissected, and therefore we're looking at each and every way where she could have improved or she could have. Do I agree that I feel sorry for the lady? This lady lost her job.
Yeah,
she served the queen for so long and she lost her job. I feel really sorry for her.
Yeah.
And if anything, she should have just, as soon as she said, "Where are you from?" and she got the answer, "Oh no, where are you from?" She got the second answer. She should have walked away. She should have been like, "This one's an issue," and walked away. I think the lady has been done a disservice. I think it's Lady Susan or whatever. She's done a disservice. And her only crime, I think, is being too curious. No, too curious to the point of where that, unfortunately, she met the wrong person. You know that whole saying where you can go around insulting people, but you just have to meet that one wrong person and then you get killed. I think for her, she just unfortunately met the wrong person.
I think I understand. For me, the difference is how we perceive that conversation, right? And you don't perceive that as her being rude or racist or anything like that. From how I read
think
that
the black lady was rude.
From how I perceive that conversation, it was not okay. In other words, when she was saying that finally we're getting somewhere, it wasn't a banterful response. It's not like they were enjoying each other. Oh, like we can have that, and I can be okay, fine. Now we're getting somewhere. It wasn't that. The way I received that, it was like what you're saying. In her mind, this person was being difficult. So already you're looking down on that person. It's like, finally we're getting somewhere. Like you don't know how to answer simple questions.
I don't think looking down.
That's how I perceive that conversation. Right now, we were not there. We would not know. We can have specialists tell us.
If anything, she failed to read the social cue. That's her crime. She failed to read the social cue.
So here's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That for me,
and that's not racist. It's not rude. It's just failure to read the social cue.
I mean, anyway, this goes back to that discussion. So I think you can't be racist even without intentionally wanting to be racist, but the way you ask or talk or do something can perceive that racism. So in that case, I guess I can agree with you that maybe that's not what she meant, but that's what came across. Because there are so many problems with this. Okay, I want to touch on something that was said earlier. I think you are right. We are exceptions. Like I've never really felt offended or anything like that because I know I grew up in Malawi and so I am a Malawian. You know, even if I have a British passport, if you ask me where you're from originally, I will give you that answer. But there are some people that it's not that simple, right? For example, what's coming to mind is that when they call that Windrush generation or whatever, these people, their ancestors did something for this country, right? So they feel that I am British by every means. Yeah. Now, if you want to discuss ancestry, that's fine. But if you ask them, where are you from? They are British. Now, to assume in that conversation that, no, where are you really from? You're telling them that, no, you're not British. And that is an offensive thing for them.
Hang on. Can I just clarify something? Asking someone, where are you from, that you're not asking citizenship. Already, if someone asks you where, hang on. No. Hang on.
I agree with you. And that's the problem.
If someone asks you where are you from, and your answer is I'm British, you've misunderstood the question. So already, I say you've already misunderstood the question.
Okay.
Because where are you from? Fine. Tell me I'm from London. Tell me I'm from Birmingham. I'm from Scotland, whatever. Give me a place. Fine. But if I ask you where are you from and your answer is, oh, I'm British, you've misunderstood.
Okay, fine.
Because already you've already made an assumption.
Again, we're discussing based on the conversation, not in general. Right? So that's the answer she gave, isn't it?
She gave a place.
Exactly.
Yeah, she gave a place.
According to what you're saying, she did what she was supposed to give.
Yes.
That's fine. any more pushing her, any more digging, then it's like you're denying her of that. Because
you're not denying all of that.
That's why I was asking that.
Based on what he said, right? She answered the question. So the conversation should have ended there.
No, it shouldn't have.
Why not?
Because the lady was not asking where are you from in the UK. She was asking.
So she made an assumption
based on how she looked
that this person is not British.
Based on how no, not British.
She's not from the UK.
Yes,
she made
she's not British.
She made an assumption. No, okay. She made an assumption. Hold on, let me. She made an assumption that this person could have lived somewhere else, could have been born somewhere else, could have roots situated somewhere else.
Fine.
Her assumption wasn't that this person is not. So, for example, I'll ask. Sometimes I get asked, "Where are you from?" And they're not asking about Malawi. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Wolverhampton. No, you don't sound like you're from Wolverhampton. Oh, okay, sorry. I lived in London. I grew up mostly in London, hence my accent. Oh, okay, that's fine. It makes sense. You don't sound like you're from Wolverhampton.
That's fine. So let's go to the second time that she was asked where you're from. What did she say?
I'm British. And at that point, Lady Susan should have been like,
we're having a different conversation.
Let's go.
What was wrong with I'm British? Because now,
I'm British.
She's understood.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because I'm British is not answering the question where you from. Unless you're saying only those who are born in Britain can be British. Unless that is the assumption you're making, the answer I'm British, the question where you from, it's different things. If I'm asking where you from,
I think we need to define people.
No, hang on.
The second time,
you can be born in Poland and be British. You can be born in America and be British. We were born in Malawi, we're British. So if someone asks me where you from and I say I'm from Malawi, am I saying I'm not British?
No,
because I feel like that's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is that let's stop. Let's for 1 minute think like this woman. So take what the example.
I don't want to think like this woman.
Take the example I've given you. Yeah. Take the example I've given you.
Yeah.
Her being born here.
Which example? Sorry.
Her being born here, sharing in the British heritage means everything to her. Yeah. So the second time it's been asked, she has understood the question that this woman is after where I come from.
Yes. Yeah.
But she claims British. So by doing that, she's answered the question.
No.
You see?
You
just didn't want her to answer that. You wanted her to claim on her black ancestry, which she may not want to.
She claims it openly, hence why she was dressed the way she was dressed. Look at all her socials, her website. She claims it proudly. I am an African heritage, blah, 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 blah. Hence, why would you dress like that if you're not claiming it? So, and this is the thing, this would be a different discussion if she was dressed in a Western attire, rejected African heritage, she doesn't identify as it or whatever, that would be different.
And this is
because, hang on, that would be different because maybe you can say, because you're black, we're forcing you to embrace your African roots or whatever. That conversation I can entertain. But you claim your ancestry, you even change your name to an African. That Fulani, that's not her real name.
No, it's not.
No, she actually changed her name to a generic African sounding name because she discovered her ancestry and whatever. So you're identifying as an African person, an African British person. Fine. Again, where you're from doesn't determine your citizenship. You're identifying as an African British person.
No, you're identifying as a British African person.
Whatever.
The order matters.
Okay, British African person. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But then someone is coming to you and asking you about your African side, and you're calling them racist.
After you just
there's so many schools rolling there.
That's a fair enough point. So for me, I would default now to how that conversation went about, because if that's the case, I didn't know about the socials and her claiming African roots and things like that. So in that situation,
her child is called Sister Space H, Sister H.
So in that situation,
come on.
My point will still remain on how that conversation went down, because in that case, then I agree with you. She should have just stopped. It's almost okay as you are speaking. It almost sounds like she was trapped. the lady that got fired. It's almost like she walked into a trap, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fell for it
pretty much.
Yeah.
Because for me, in my mind, I still don't think that the way she asked those questions was from an innocent point of view. I feel like she was trapped in that case.
She was
but
curious.
then unfortunately, she didn't navigate her curiosity well, because like I said, there's nothing wrong with inquiring.
So
if a black person can potentially be from another country. I don't think there's anything wrong with inquiring that.
I don't understand, because I feel like you're
potentially,
contradicting
eventually
yourself,
you
because
In what way?
you're saying there's nothing wrong in somebody inquiring, but really that's what you're saying, because
How you go
unless
about
we
it,
get but then
how you go about it
but then
matters.
are we
I think-
expecting every white person or whoever is curious about you to get it right 100% of the time?
Yes.
Then then we need to give them a script, because that's what
No,
Chin
it's
was
not about
asking you to
script.
say.
It's
Okay, then
about
how
everyone
should they be
saying-
Funny,
asking?
let me help you. How you go about it matters. How do they go about it? Tell all the white people how they go about it.
I'll
right
give you an
now.
example. The example Fatani gave us was really good.
Which
yeah?
one?
When we were at the club. Yeah. He asked where you did he give us a
No, he
that's not a
said
good- that's not a
he
good
said
one.
the accent thing after.
Yeah, that's not a good one. I think, okay, if I'm gonna put a script, I'm happy to put a script.
Yeah,
Let's
tell them
roleplay.
how.
Yeah, let's role play.
Yeah,
Alright?
go on.
Chin, where are you from?
I'm from Birmingham.
You're from Birmingham. Oh, okay, fine. Crap. Hold on.
Yeah,
Let's
there you go.
Hold on.
There you go.
Let's start
And
again.
you're a black person.
Hold on.
and you
Let's
can't put
start
together a
again. Let's
script.
start again. Let's start
Okay,
again.
fine, go on.
Chin, where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Birmingham.
You're from Birmingham. All right. Were you born here, or did you like come from another country or something like that?
No,
I would say that's
that's
far worse.
far worse.
Yeah.
But hang on, it's far
Yeah,
worse.
that
but
is-
hang on.
that is
no.
worse.
I was born in London.
He's born in London.
Yeah.
All right. Where are your parents from? Do you have like any roots in any countries and stuff like that?
I don't know if this is curiosity or just like prying into his life.
I think both my parents were born here.
You
but,
think?
But I think my grandparents come from some African country.
Okay, fair enough. Hold on, let's do that again, because there's this terminology that you can use.
Okay, okay, I'll let you do it again. But do you see what the point Fatani is making about
Right.
how the hell do you expect someone to navigate a normal conversation like that? It's not going to be a
Okay,
conversation
for
if we put
hold
so
on.
much.
For
Yeah,
starters,
easy.
for starters,
And,
my
and-
tone wasn't aggressive, nor was it offensive, nor was it condescending. Or for me, in my opinion,
You're trying to get
the
to know.
other lady's tone was not the tone I've used. So already,
No, hang on.
This is a space for conversation.
fair enough. But we can't speak to tone because we just read the script. So everyone, everyone reads that script.
The way
they want to read
they
it.
add the tone.
Yeah, they
exactly.
add the
So-
tone to it.
But then you
Yeah.
might say there was no tone, but it's not always about tone, because you continuing that conversation for another black person might be the offensive part. Because I've said I'm from London. I've said I was from Birmingham. I was born in London.
Why
I'm
so-
British. So why are you still carrying on?
This ties into my point when I say that I disagree with Morgan, because unfortunately I can't. Let's assume I'm white. I can't see that you're black. Yeah, and like what you were saying earlier, historically this was a white man's land. So every person that's black, it may not be them or their grandparents or their grandparents' grandparents or their grandparents' grandparents, but somewhere down the line, people had to migrate here.
You just demoted me again.
That's literally
That's
what
literally
you're
what
saying.
I
What
was
she just
saying.
said, yeah.
I literally said it in
Did I
the
disagree?
Yeah.
Yes.
In what way did I disagree?
You only said no.
No, I did not disagree.
I did.
No, I don't think people I hear what I'm saying. I keep saying that inquiring someone's origin is not the problem.
But it's about how you
It's
do
about
it.
how you
so
go
we're saying,
about
okay,
it.
fine. How do you go about
Yeah,
it?
so-
Because the argument we're making is that
So
the
let
lady
me just-
Susan went about it an okay way. It's just unfortunately she made the wrong person.
I'm
So we're saying,
that how
okay,
she
fine.
went
How do you go about
The
it?
way I perceive that.
So you
it
failed
was
the
not
first
okay.
one, phase two. Take
No,
two.
to be honest with you, I think it also depends on who you meet. But like I said,
So, for example, okay, let me give you an example. So,
hold on.
after one of my, you know, like when you're applying for a job, you have to give your information, your passport and stuff like that. In your passport, it says place of birth, and mine says Palombe. So this lady, after the interview, the lady said, "Oh, so where were you born? Because I saw on your thing you says Palombe. I have no idea where that is." I was like, "What city in this country is Palombe?" So her question to me was, "Where were you born?" And I said, "Malawi." Is that a wrong line of inquiry?
No.
But then
You've
this
already
is-
said you saw Palombe.
That
then
would
she
be
said,
fine.
what's
No, her
Palombe?
first question was, "Where were you born?"
That's also an okay. Because your answer could have been British, Malawi, Zambia, anything. That's
But then-
that's fine.
British is not a place.
You can't be born in British.
Your answer could have been England, UK.
But then somebody might. But
Scotland.
then this is what we're saying, that we already take these things at a point of this person. Because if somebody asks me, "Where were you born?" because of my skin color, I don't see how.
What context was this? Where were you? Do you say someone saw your
No,
passport?
okay.
No. It's not the place of birth
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
application.
But they told me that after
This
they
is
already asked
slightly
me where
different.
were you born. No, but
Okay,
I'm trying to.
fine, okay.
They said about the passport.
So they just asked you where were you born?
Febby, where were
Okay,
you born?
Fine.
And I could have chosen to take that in a very racial way.
Okay, fine.
And this is the point I'm trying to make, that if we all already come from a point of, if anybody asks us a question of origin, and we've already made the assumption that they're coming at it from a racial perspective, that's where we go wrong. Because that where were you born question, I can already say, oh, is it because of my skin color? You assume I wasn't born in England?
To be fair with you,
Because
as fair as that is,
Yeah,
if we are
I see your
talking
point.
about, there's always an exception to the rule. So I can't disagree with that. There are people out there, just like there are people. I've been watching this caught on dash camera. People literally walk out there.
did my mom get you addicted to that?
She actually
Oh
did.
my
She
god!
actually
What is
did.
it?
Caught on dash camera.
Oh, okay.
It's actually my show now. You know how you guys have like house shows? It's actually my show now. I literally watch it all the time now. People actually go out there. You can see it on a dash, literally running into a car to jump on it so they can claim insurance and things like that. So yes, I can't disagree with that. There are some people that are always ready to receive certain things negatively, and it can be anything. It can be absolutely anything. That's why context matters, what was going on, and so on and so forth, because that's what gives people like us the right to say that actually that wasn't racist, or actually that was racist. Why are we doing that? Because we've asked, okay, fine, what was happening? What happened? What did you say? So we then give our opinion on the matter. So
Could I okay, let's go back to this Fulani lady situation. Let's add context then, because we've been talking about the scenario, but we haven't talked about the context. So the context, they're at a gathering, some form of party, and obviously there would be a meet and greet section. People are wandering around, drinks in hand, getting to know each other. Mix and mingle, getting to know each other. So would that lady then, Lady Susan, was that her name? Lady Susan, in the context of meet and greet, get to know each other, get to know what somebody is about, what they do. I'd assume maybe there was a reason this gathering was happening. I don't know what the...
I think it was like an awards for charity.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
so would it be in that kind of context? Let's say we've gone somewhere.
are we able to get the conversation up and read it?
I'm not right now. I'm not talking about the context. I'm talking about the context. So in the context of meet and greet, get to know each other, get to know what people are about, was that conversation out of line?
I would say the conversation in itself wasn't out of line, no? If it was, if
You're
that
still
was
maintaining the
gathering,
tone and the context.
Yeah, because essentially that's what the discussion is, you know, and that's why was it you who asked the question to say that if she wasn't, no, I think it was being discussed that if she wasn't dressed like that and whatnot, maybe it may not have made the news, or maybe the conversation may not have happened. So the context given is good and is fair. So the problem is the interaction between the two,
right?
Because one person came out of that interaction feeling like they've been racistly
interrogated.
Racially.
Thank you. Racially interrogated.
We should call it abuse.
Now, abuse. Yeah. Now the other person. So the question is either whether this Sue lady, whether those were her intentions, or like what Chin is saying,
it was a mingle. She was just trying to getting to know.
It was taken out of context, you know. But my understanding is that she resigned, isn't it? Was she fired or resigned?
No, she resigned.
My understanding is that she resigned. The lady.
Yeah, she resigned.
Yeah, I think resigned. Yeah.
Why did she resign? Did she acknowledge that she was in the
She
wrong,
actually gave an apology as well and resigned.
No, but these
are all important.
But she didn't. She wasn't apologizing because to why she was raised. She was apologizing because of the backlash it all got. You've got to remember, she's in the public eye. She's technically part of the royal family.
So as far as
when the royal family are already in the limelight for racism and something like that happens, they can't just stay silent and not offer an apology. Whether they believe the incident was racial or not, they have to operate from a standpoint of something that's happened from our planes has made somebody feel offended. Well, they probably laugh about it and say, you know what, that race incident wasn't, but they have to maintain public figure and put out that public apology. So I don't.
You know, I was really annoying about the whole thing though. The way William threw the lady under the bus.
How
I didn't hear about that. What happened?
He was like, oh, I apologize profoundly on her behalf. It's disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. This shouldn't be happening. Like, you proper threw her. And this lady literally raised this man like it was a nanny.
But then the royal family have to uphold
and he
their...
clearly knows her.
Yeah.
So it's either he's known for a long time that she's a racist and hasn't said anything, in
Right.
which case keep your apologies, they don't mean anything. Or he knows that she's not like that and has just decided to go with the wave of the thing
the
and
backlash and
throw
just
under
like,
the
But then
bus.
with the whole Meghan thing, how are they going to properly defend her?
No,
Because we've got to.
you don't have to say anything.
No,
Fine, don't
fair enough,
defend
fair
it or
enough.
don't say
just
anything.
don't
Just
say
let her handle it.
Or just say, because of this thing that's happened, she has resigned. That's stated in fact.
Just leave it in that.
That's not inserting your
But then with
opinion or anything.
the whole way this whole race situation has taken fire,
They would have to
especially
say
within the
something.
royal family gates and whatnot, they couldn't have gotten away with not saying anything at all. And that's what I'm saying. They have to maintain their
Someone else.
I don't know. To be honest,
the royal
hearing these
commentator
facts-
should have said it.
hearing these
William
facts-
wouldn't have said anything. I honestly really feel really sorry for this lady. I'm not gonna lie to
I
you.
didn't know
I
about
feel
that
really
part
sorry
about
for
the
her.
William. That's a bit.
So back to
Hearing all this
Throw
kind
her
of
under
makes
the
me
bus.
want to believe that it was more in the context that I'm thinking of it of, because if it was literally a misunderstanding in that sense,
But she made an accusation and she went across all the media.
she made an accusation.
Yeah, the black lady made the accusation. So
Okay.
she's the one that made the accusation and the story broke. So obviously the family has to react to the story that's broken.
And what you're saying, they could have said that no, this was just a misunderstanding. She's
No, but
not
how
like
did
that.
that?
How are you
it was
gonna
two
say?
people.
Then
It was those two people.
You can say this was
How-
just a
how
misunderstanding,
you
but
gonna
you still
know?
have
The
to
problem,
Yeah.
the problem
acknowledge
in this world
her.
we are living in, nobody wants to stand up for truth and right anymore. We are just concerned about images. And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what-
How could
because
the royal family have
unfortunately-
confidently stood and said, no, she's not a racist, we stand by her, given everything that they're already going through in the context of race?
No, but the could
Don't they
have.
have crisis management people?
And that was the
Yeah.
crisis
That was the
management. That was
crisis
them
management.
managing the
You guys-
crisis.
by throwing someone under the bus.
Yeah.
Yes.
it happens.
You,
Yeah,
you,
it
you, act
happens.
as
Yeah.
if, you act as if you haven't watched TV shows like Scandal and
No, I
all
get
those
that.
presidential shows where somebody gets thrown under
Somebody
the bus
has
to resolve
to. Yeah,
the situation.
you have to have a scapegoat.
But usually when you're looking for a scapegoat, it's because there's truth to what's been said. So you're trying to diffuse the fire, divert and whatnot and so forth. So
Well,
it could be true that then the royal family are actually a bunch of racists.
No. I think what Fatsani said, it's about optic because I don't think they wanted to, or maybe not even defend her, but just keep her in the position. If they'd just
Isolated.
been quiet, if they'd been quiet about it, because everyone would have been like, guys, what are you saying about this? Because they ask for comments, innit?
Yeah.
What are you saying about this? So it's either they say,
somebody from your house.
and if someone's making, and this is why accusations are so important, but they're so, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
You have to be careful about the accusations you make, especially when it's just two people. Because as soon as you make the accusation, it's up to the other person to defend themselves. And if the royal family goes into defending mode, how are they going to do that? They're going to have to discredit her. But they can't start discrediting a black woman because of
what
everything
they're
that's
going through
happening.
already.
You see? So whereas under normal circumstances, that's what you're doing. If someone makes an accusation, you discredit them.
them.
But then they can't go against a black woman because that's the kind of worms.
They're
So it's
already
you know
going
what?
through a lot with that.
That's a good theory.
I just hope they give her like a cushy pension and they're like, don't worry about everything. Or because maybe it's like she served for so long, there's no point us fighting this for you. Just
maybe they just said that in the
go
public
thing.
eye, but then behind closed doors, they're like, listen.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I'm so sorry.
I hope she got her cushy pension and everything.
Yeah.
And
I mean, when it's all said and
because
done,
it's this thing, because
we are left is with that conversation. And if that conversation was done the way I'm understanding it to have been done, then she bared responsibility on how she went about inquiring her curiosity in this meet and greet context. And I think that was the problem. So fine.
Okay, let me
So fine,
ask
we
you
can
this.
say that she's not intentionally mean to be racist or anything like that, but how she went up, and also we can add that maybe this Fulani person, played a game here, and unfortunately Sue fell for it. We can say all that, but at the end of the day, I'm still responsible for how I ask and inquire about certain things. I could be held responsible for that.
Could I ask something then? So would it have been so wrong in that situation for this Fulani lady, especially being the advocate that she is, to say to Lady Susan, whatever her name is, you know what? I get what you're trying to get to, but your line of questioning actually, for me personally, I found it a bit offensive. And some other black people might find it offensive. So maybe when you're trying to find out where somebody's from, maybe tweak your line of questioning because the way you're asking
education moment.
Yeah, why as black people do we not take those moments as that sometimes?
Because for some people, I mean, I agree with you first and foremost. So if I repeat,
especially as the advocate and the educator that she is, why did she not take that moment to have that conversation and say, you know what? I get what you're trying to ask, but listen, sis.
She could have.
You could
100%
a little bit differently for the next person you speak to.
Yeah, she could have. Yeah, she could have.
Okay.
Doesn't erase what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. The lady's been fired.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, there are some black people. Like I said, what I've started doing nowadays is my black life lived experience isn't as that. So if I comment based on myself, I'll be like, you guys, but then there are other people that have lived certain lives, so you start hearing stories, you start reading stories, you start hearing people's experiences, and for some people, that obviously, something interesting was mentioned, that if someone is short, right, and you see them for the first time, you are kind of short for a man, isn't it? What people don't take a moment to think and pause and think about is that person has probably heard that like a million times. You're not the first one. You see what I mean? I made this mistake one day.
So what was the point? You jumping from...
No, I'm making
what
the point.
Was the point?
It's just this example is more relevant, actually. Yeah?
Okay, go on. Maybe start with the relevant one next time.
Let me comment on that.
I want to hear the point. He hasn't made the point yet.
Let
me make the point. Because I need to hear what the point is.
It's just an example to make the point. No, so the point I want to make is that there are some people, in talking about teaching moments, that they've been through that so much that it's almost like they are exhausted. It's an exhaustion moment. So it's not every day meet somebody teaching moment. There are people that have had to live that through and through to the point that maybe it's even trauma. Okay, and this is not me speaking facts. I'm just saying maybe it's even trauma. So again, just to offer balance to everything.
So you're saying Fulani was fed up, but this
is what I was saying.
In general,
this is what I was saying. Why
she's gone through it a lot, so now she's fed up. She's like, today I'm gonna be difficult.
Yeah. No,
why are we negating accepting what we are? Though this was the thing I was saying from the beginning. Why are we negating what we are?
Because for you, who you are is a blessed thing. For some people, who they are is British born.
No, I get that, but
despite the skin,
if
and that's why we talk about racist.
Why am I negating that I'm a black woman? Because I think sometimes this whole race thing really frustrates me, because it's like we're trying to not be black. It's like we're doing everything in our power for people not to see us as black.
Because some people don't want to be seen as black, don't want to be seen as a color.
But we are black. We are black.
Not white.
Let's go into a world that's anarchy. Let's just start calling each other black, Asian, whatever.
But not all of us.
Why is that what she's saying? If somebody says to me, "You're a black woman," why am I insulted by that? That's what I am. I am a black woman.
You are not insulted. Someone else is. I don't understand why isn't that okay?
This is why I'm saying.
Because why are you being offended at the fact of who you are?
Or what you are, or what you look like?
Because of the connotations that comes with.
Okay,
but no one has mentioned any connotations.
Yeah, hang on. Okay,
because we're not talking about.
I agree with you.
But that's where
I agree with you that. In what situation would someone have to point out that you're a black woman? That's the way I'll put a question mark. However, that does not mean someone acknowledging that you're black is wrong or is racist.
100%.
My question would be, okay, why?
And sometimes it makes things so difficult. For example, I went and saw this mum and we're talking about something, and she was trying to describe to me another member of staff that usually stands outside on the gate, but there's a lot of males that stand outside on the gate when kids are leaving, and she's there like, oh, he's a bit short, and I'm naming all these different ones. She's like, no, I'm like, hold on, is it the black man? She's like, yeah. If you had led with that, you know that that black member of staff, the male one that stands outside the gate, I would not have been of it, but that's what
let me ask you a question.
Is.
Hang on. Let me ask you a question. So in that situation, she's trying to describe someone. Oh, you know the man outside, the black one. He said blah 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 blah. Has she done something wrong?
No, she hasn't. She's described the person.
Exactly.
Don't forget.
Now, hang on. Now, the issue is the ways when you're saying, "Oh, why is it not okay?" The issue is when that black man hears that Lily has described him as a black man, he's offended.
Okay, I can't defend that one.
No, but these are the issues that we're talking about. People
being
clearly being offended at simple descriptions of who they
That's
are.
fine. If you remember in that statement that I was saying when Fasani said, I can't remember what, but I was saying that there are those people that are ready to be offended and things like that. We're not talking about those because I can't say anything with that.
Do you know what? I don't think. Okay, in the Fulani, it's a whole different mess. But I feel like nowadays, in this day and age, the way conversation of race is going, I feel like most black people, without knowing why, if they heard a white person describing them as black, they would be already on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Because it's like we're being conditioned that
There's something wrong.
there's something wrong with describing someone as black. If they heard a white person just referring to them as black, without even knowing why, they'll be like, okay, just called me black.
You could have just said my name. What do you have to say my skin color?
Unfortunately, I feel like that's the state that we're in right now.
And do you know something really good I heard the other day? I was talking to one of the other members of staff in school and they said, you know what, it's really positive to have a black member of staff in safeguarding. Now I could have taken that because I thought about it because, race is a conversation. And I think this was a day where some kids had been campaigning about race and stuff around the school. So I was like, I could easily have taken that in the wrong way, but I don't see what's wrong with what she said. It is positive to have a black member of staff in safeguarding in a school where it is.
She should have said ethnic minority. How dare she?
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because, okay.
Here we go
That was
again.
sarcasm, by the way.
I know.
If you use that to make a point.
No. I feel like I'm highly being, I'm not being misunderstood, but I'm just clarifying to say that, remember from the get-go, I've been saying that I can't look at you and ignore the skin color. So that means that's always going to be there. That's always going to be a conversation you can have. And in describing somebody, it means saying that, and obviously we can talk about black, is he black? Is he brown? Is he yellow? We can talk about color. But what we know is black and white. We know where it started. Fine. But in me saying that, it's not being racist. That's why we're talking about context matters, conversation, what was going on. If you've been shot, I doubt if a black man's daughter had been killed by, let's say, a white person, and then you have to describe what did this person look like. You're not going to be there going, he was clear. You be like, it was a white man. You say he was a white man, he dressed like this. So I do agree in that fact to say that there are people that will take things that you're not supposed to take as offense in an offense. And unfortunately, that's a consequence of the world that we're in, because that's all starting from the whole gender situation, binaries and whatnot. And it's good. Yeah, unfortunately, that is a mess. I guess my only point in all this, going back to the conversation, is that okay, two things. One, for those that you are inquiring, there is, you navigate yourself properly, because you trade into certain
But then again,
field, you're going to offend people. Yeah, for example, if my stance on, like, let's say gender and whatever. If I want to inquire and have a conversation about, let's say, someone that has transcended, there are certain words I'm not going to use that I know are going to offend them. I can inquire about it. I can hold a discussion with you to let you know my views, even maybe tell you that I think what you've done is wrong, but do it in a civilized way. Does that make sense? So that's my point. My point is that in this situation, in my opinion, I don't think that's what Sue did. In my opinion, I actually think that her intentions may not have been to offend, but how she went about it did end up sounding racist. And unfortunately, that Fulani lady was not big enough to handle that in a better way, And I think, like what you're saying, with the whole royal family thing, whatever, I think maybe she said, oh, you know what, let me get my 15 minutes or whatever. So because of what was going on, things that it was that right. I agree with you. I think she could have done that a different way, being the advocate that she is. I agree with that, But we can never black out color. we can never, or race or anything like that. I believe we will continue to talk about these things, and they will continue to get messier. They will get messier because of, unfortunately, people and sensitivity.
Like how jokes back in the day used to be funny.
Yeah, and now
like
we are listening
slightly,
to songs and
now
hearing words.
Yeah, so
and
now
being
some
offended.
comedians are being told like, oh, you can't say this, or their past comedy or whatever is being pulled up now. Like say, oh, I think you need to apologize about this.
Didn't
Like,
she say that Kevin had to apologize for a tweet he had done?
That's how I felt in that moment. It was funny. It was a joke. Like now, you can't tell me now I need to apologize for a joke that I made like 20 years ago. But now everything is so sensitive. And these people as well pulling out tweets or comedy jokes from like
what are you
15,
doing
25 years
that
ago.
Far back?
Yeah, like, and
Get
you're doing it now. You're doing it now when this person
I wonder how I can bring him down.
And you're doing it now when this person is now blown up and now it's a big deal and now it's like, he's a multi-millionaire. Oh yeah, but you remember 63 years ago, you said this about like...
Do you know what it's all about driving agenda, isn't it? So if let's say you're part of the... I don't know what the PC term is now, but let's say you're part of the homosexuality or LGBTQRPCQ thingy.
You just made it worse.
Let's say you're part of that movement, right? That's fine, whatever. You do you. But then if you're looking for advocates, if you're looking for people to really push that agenda, you're going to look for people like comedians, big stars. You're going to look at something they've done that goes against your message so that they can come out and apologize so that obviously that reaches a wide audience. So, Kevin Hart is doing big things now. You go back, he made a joke about homosexualities in 2009. Kevin Hart, this was offensive to the gay community. Can you apologize, please? Kevin Hart comes out, guys, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Now Kevin Hart followers are like, okay, maybe this guy thinks I'm so bad. Kevin Hart.
You get another comedian and be like, no, like Dave Chappelle, be like, no.
Of course, you always get those kind of... So
that's how I felt.
It's all about getting champions for your cause, isn't it? So whatever cause you have, just find someone big who's said something of some sort against it. Slander them. The moment they speak apologizing and in a positive light, it furthers the agenda and the message
and reaches a wider audience.
Which I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying that's it is what it is.
You're playing the system for your good, for your gain.
Yeah, of course, and listen.
People are getting sensitive and then people are getting bolder as well. So these two, it's a bubbling.
It's a whole polarizing thing, isn't it? You get people that are getting more sensitive, people who are getting more bolder. So the divide is getting wider.
Yeah.
The wider that gets, then there we wrap.
Yeah,
and then
everyone is bubbling. It's bubbling.
Yeah. So it's a middle. People just need to come back to the middle ground. It's okay to be sensitive, be understanding.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a bit bold, be a little sensitive. It's just just a little,
a balance.
Yeah, but
the balance is shifting though.
We're missing a balance.
That's not. Anyway, ladies and gents, I think that's enough for our first episode back. To our listeners, thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome back to this new season. We've got big things ahead. Find us on YouTube.
Can't wait.
We're going to be on the tube, but always on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Apple pending, probably. But yeah, tell your friend to tell their friend, tell that friend to tell their mom, their dog, their sister, and their uncle
retweet
as well.
Yeah.
And feel free to reach out to us on socials.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Our Instagram is
OffbeatPOV.
That's right, OffbeatPOV. We also have a Twitter, and that is
at OffbeatPOV.
That is correct. And we have YouTube, that is, you don't know.
OffbeatPOV.
You're right.
You look at that.
We keep it consistent. Because OffbeatPOV, you can't get it wrong.
You can't get it wrong.
Did you start changing Offbeat.POV? POV.Offbeat. No.
Offbeat
_ POV.
OffbeatPOV, wherever you need to find us, you do so. So,
POV.
ladies and gentlemen, closing words, Pronit.
Yes, it's good to be back. Look forward to this season. It's gonna be amazing. We changed a few things. Very excited. And on the topic of race, let's talk about color. Let's acknowledge it. It's not a crime to describe a black man because he's a black man, or a Mexican man because he's a Mexican man, or an Asian man because he's Asian. It's just descriptions.
You've gone from color to ethnicity, but
It's all in the same thing. Okay, fine. A black man, yellow man, pink man. It's fine if they look like that, even if they decide to
And clear.
identify.
Don't forget that one.
Unclear, exactly. It's not racist
It's
to
still
inquire
okay, man.
of someone's ancestry background. Just be cautious and mindful about how you ask, because obviously some people may not really like you digging into their past like that.
And the receiver just be far less
last
sensitive.
words, Fanny.
Peace out.
Okay. Last words, Ati.
Reach out to us, those who would like to be part of the podcast, and let's share each other's views and grow the network in a good way and in an informative and educational way.
Love
Hallelujah.
that. Love that.
Have that for us. Can I redo mine? She made me.
Nope.
She should-
Nope. But until next time, ladies, gents, and everybody in between.
We're inclusive here at OffbeatPOV.
We don't have to agree, but we understand. You see, that's the thing. That's the way forward. Until next time, stay offbeat.
Be offbeat.
Think of it.
POV.
I love that.